Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back, folks. You found The Local Show on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, and then, of course, on YouTube, where we pull back the curtain and let you see what the studio looks like. We really ought to do something more in here, don't you think?
I think so. Maybe some shag carpet on the walls.
Yeah,
or something
fun, you know. I told Steve that. We don't have any of that fun stuff. You see a lot of YouTubers with their funky lights and, all that kind of stuff.
If we're gonna put it on YouTube, we gotta make something of this. Yeah.
Well, Steve's away on vacation. I should have got together with Brad, our video and photography guy, and come up with a bunch of stuff, and then just decked out the place.
That'd be hilarious.
Made it look like a 1970, like Studio 54 in here.
I think that'd be great. We have a ball with that.
That'd be fun. All right. Hey, Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. What do you know about them?
Wow, Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. They do a great job over there.
Yeah, don't they?
And it's way too often that I see people that don't do their elder law planning. I guess
right. Yeah. I guess so.
And guess what? We're all going to die.
Yes. Whether we like it or not.
Right. We're going to go.
We're all going out.
So the question is, how much do you love your family?
Yeah.
And by preparing before it happens.
Yes.
And it can help. The wills and trusts can be very valuable in a lot of ways. So it's certainly people should think about it.
Sure.
Talk to them over there at Safe Harbor and find out what works. They customize whatever it is you might need.
Sure. And then as far as you're concerned on the tax law part of it, there's a lot of tax benefits to some of that stuff, right?
There's no tax. There's not necessarily tax benefits, but there's no tax downside.
Right.
To it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can protect your assets. You can avoid probate in many instances. You can protect your assets depending on what you're trying to accomplish. There's different kinds of trusts.
Right. Sure.
But it's usually not a negative with the taxes.
That's very good. So that's safeharborwillsandtrusts.com. Safeharborwillsandtrusts.com. Check them out today. It's our pleasure to bring back on the show Paul Zobel. He's the owner of Medicare. Paul, how are you doing there?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very awesome. Good, my friend. Very good. So George is not acquainted with you. So for George and some of the listening audience that may not have heard you the first couple times, what do you do?
Yeah, well, I have an office in Syracuse, and I help people with Medicare. Just as you mentioned, everybody's going to pass away.
Right,
just about everybody at some point is going to need Medicare, and it's one of those things that virtually everybody's going to need and nobody really understands.
Yeah.
So what we do is take people by the hand and really just kind of walk them through the process. Explain, why are they getting all this mail? Why are they getting all these phone calls? What is Medicare Part A? What is Medicare Part B? When do you have to sign up? How do you sign up? And then once they are signed up, if it's appropriate for them, almost everybody's going to need something with their Medicare. And there are all kinds of plans that have no cost whatsoever. Some even pay you. And then there are plans that cost money. And what we do is we explain what the differences are and then help the person figure out which direction they want to go. And once they know which direction they want to go, we represent virtually all of the plans and help them to figure out what's going to be the best one for that particular year. And then work with them every year after that. So we're available.
Do people have to pay you directly? I mean, is it come out of their pocket?
Yeah, there's never any cost whatsoever for our help. So if somebody takes the time to figure out everything on their own, they haven't saved anything, or if they call me and allow me to help them figure it out, there's no cost. I get paid by the insurance companies. So when somebody chooses a particular plan, whatever plan that is, that plan will pay me.
Gotcha.
Okay. And you all the different you help them choose the plans.
Correct.
I know we get calls sometimes of people that are about that age, and they want to know, what do I do? And I I don't know. We do taxes and accounting. It's like, that's a different world. Don't ask me the Medicare stuff. So they can call you.
Absolutely.
And you walk them through that, because that can be kind of confusing with the different styles and what for whom and all that.
And then you got Jimmy J.J. Walker going, Dynamite, and it's like...
He's selling that stuff
he's
now,
selling,
too.
yeah, and it's like, it's open enrollment. Come on over here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. And what's the relevance of, Jimmy J.J.? And I believe there's a couple of other people that are...
Joe Namath.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Joe Namath was doing it. And and it's like, dude, what are you even talking about? I have no idea.
And it's when they're 65 is when it kicks in and you have to start doing this?
Yeah, well, for most people will become eligible for Medicare when they're 65, but some people before 65 if there's a disability or something. Also, some people are working past 65, and one of the things that a lot of people are confused about is, if I'm still going to be working, should I just remain on my health insurance at work, or should I go on to Medicare? And we ask them some specific questions to help them figure it out. Like, do you need your work insurance for a younger family member? Is your work insurance costing you money? Do you have deductibles and co-payments? And depending on how they answer those questions, it may or may not be better for them to go on Medicare, whether they're going to be working or not working.
And sometimes you don't get a choice. Some of the health insurances kick you off at 65.
That's true as well. Some companies will migrate to some type of a Medicare situation, yes.
Okay.
So is Medicare a state-run thing or a federal thing?
Medicare is federal, and then there's Medicaid that some people qualify for, and that's state. But Medicare is federal.
Okay. And I guess by the time you collect it, typically you have your dependents out of the house. So it would just be like you and your wife. And if you are married, is this something that is a joint thing, or does my wife get Medicare and I get Medicare separately?
It's separate. Okay. So you might have two people that have two completely different situations. One spouse might have a lot of health issues and want to go with a supplement plan that would allow them to go to any doctor or any hospital and cover just about all costs. And then you might have another spouse that's in perfect health and has nothing wrong with them, and really could benefit from one of the no-cost plans that would also include dental, vision, hearing, and gym memberships and all of that extra stuff. So it's really separate. And it also changes so dramatically from year to year.
Why is that? Why does the federal government do that?
It's not so much the federal government. Medicare doesn't change that much. It's really more about the individual plans that people take on top of Medicare. Their formularies, the cost of the prescriptions will change dramatically from year to year. So it's important to really check it on an annual basis, and that's part of what we do as well.
Now, you're just talking about open enrollment. Should they wait till open enrollment to call you, or can they call you at other times to do discussion?
Yeah, I mean, again, you were talking about Jimmy Walker and Joe Namath. I mean, I can virtually promise you're not going to get them on the phone.
You're not going to get Joe Namath.
So we're local. We're available. I'm available all year. I give out my cell phone, and if anybody ever has a question, honestly, whether they can benefit from a plan for me or whether they're on a state plan and they're never going to need my help, we're happy to help.
So they can, before open enrollment, they can talk to you, come up with a plan of what they want to do, and then you sign them up in open enrollment. Would that be a typical thing, or?
A lot of times that's typical. There might be some situations where we can actually sign them up if it's appropriate for them before open enrollment. It really depends on their situation. But if anybody has any type of questions or any type of pain points or anything that's not working well, we definitely welcome, being called and seeing if we can help.
And do you have a whole team?
I do.
Yeah.
We have 17 people throughout New York State. I have 2 additional people here in the greater Syracuse area that work out of our office on North Salina Street. And I do a lot of work personally myself.
Excellent.
Wow,
all right.
great.
Well, that's Paul Zobel right there. He is the owner of Medicare Paul. MedicarePaul.com, real easy. MedicarePaul.com. Get on it now, folks, and deal with somebody who is kind and compassionate and actually knows what they're talking about and not screaming at you on the television. All right. Thank you so much.
Walker, huh?
Right. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, I hope the shag carpet is here.
Yes, we'll deck the place out. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Jason Impson. He is the president of One Team Facility Service, and he'll be right here on the local show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.